Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. And we begin today by taking a look at the forecast. We have Thomas Patrick standing by outside where it is feeling distinctly spring out there. Thomas, what's going on?
Yeah, distinctly spring sometimes can mean extremes for us. If you remember on Up with KREM this morning, I was actually tracking some snow showers on the Palouse earlier today. Now there is this extremely dark cloud that is, actually I think it's just over my left shoulder here, and I could swear I just heard a rumble of thunder. It's kind of like, was that a plane or was that a rumble of thunder? It's so close that not only am I technically on standby out here, the umbrella is with me on standby because there are a couple sprinkles with this shower cell that's nearby. So we're going to jump in on Doppler radar. This is what I'm looking at. You see the shower cell that just developed in the past 20 minutes? It just is meandering somewhere between Geiger Boulevard and Spokane South Hill, which of course is where we are located. We are getting just some of the outside sprinkles here. In fact, it just started to pick up. I'm actually going to pull that open right now because it is just getting heavy enough to be a little bit uncomfortable. So that is, again, just kind of encroaching in the last couple seconds here. Meanwhile, you see the scattering of showers that are just continuing across most of the area as they have developed in the past, really just like hour and a half across the area. So because of the scattered showers, again, you might literally want the umbrella on standby just in case out there. So again, we take you outside. You look to the north and there's actually a little pocket of some blue skies here. But like I said, it's a little bit darker directly above my head. So we're going to be tracking these scattered showers for the rest of the day today before we get to a much sunnier and warmer weekend ahead. So the latest back indoors in just a few minutes.
All right, Thomas, thank you. And now to our top story here at noon as we look at the impact of new tariffs that were announced by President Trump less than 24 hours ago. One of the immediate reactions has been on Wall Street, where the Dow is down significantly today. This is a live look at the Dow Jones, which is down more than 3% at this hour. So we continue to track that. The drop comes as the highest tariffs in nearly a century are starting to take effect. Natalie Brand has a look at some products expected to cost more soon and why the White House says the tariffs will be good in the long run.
Cabinet secretaries have been on TV this morning doubling down on the president's plan, but some are also signaling he could be open to negotiating before the tariffs take effect in coming days.
The Dow sank more than 1,000 points at Thursday's opening, digesting the Trump administration's sweeping tariff plan.
These changes in the stock market, while they're initial, long-term, you've got to assume, and medium-term, and employment-based, you're going to see America thrive.
President Trump is imposing a 10% baseline tariff on nearly all trading partners, then hitting dozens of countries with reciprocal tariffs. The White House says they're roughly half of what those countries are charging the U.S.
Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them.
The Trump administration is defending its plan as a long-term strategy, saying it's a matter of national security.
The United States can no longer produce enough antibiotics to treat our sick. If anything ever happened from a war standpoint, we wouldn't be able to do it.
China faces a new 34% tariff on top of what's already been imposed. The EU faces a 20% reciprocal tariff.
What the United States is doing is pushing countries away from us.
Economists say Americans can expect higher prices for everything from electronics to clothing.
Allies have tried to talk him out of it, but he really doesn't seem to understand that tariffs are paid by Americans.
Exempt from the new tariffs, Canada and Mexico, which are already facing taxes on select goods that the president put in place earlier this year.
New tariffs on foreign vehicles and auto parts are also taking effect today. This morning, car maker Stellantis said it's temporarily pausing production at plants in Canada and Mexico, resulting in some temporary layoffs at plants in Michigan and Indiana. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
While tariffs mean a potential price hike for some foreign cars, there's also the question of how it will impact auto shops in terms of fixing those cars. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy spoke with the owner of a local repair shop to learn more about the uncertainty that they're now facing.
Spokane's C&H Foreign Auto Repair sees car after car for repairs and general maintenance. It's owner Scott Cushman's family business.
I've been actually running and owning it for 8 years. Father started it actually in 1977.
It's a business Cushman says relies heavily on the business's European warehouses across the United States. Those warehouses get all their parts from Europe and Asia. Those continents are just a few of many areas President Donald Trump set tariffs against. That's 34% on imports from China on top of the existing 20% tariff and 20% on the European Union. President Trump says this is an attempt to boost the making of goods and services in the U.S. Cushman says it'll hit his and his customers' wallets hard.
Definitely we'll see a cost increase, I'm sure, on parts. We'll also see, I think, more in automotive repair and maintenance, because I think people won't be buying as many new cars because possibly of the tariffs that are going to be coming our way.
It's an uncertainty Cushman isn't a fan of.
It creates a little bit of frustration and a little bit of unknowns and uncertainties.
But he says that's not stopping him and his staff from serving their customers.
Just keeping everybody's vehicle obviously on the road dependable and reliable.
Keeping their work reliable while the world trading climate is anything but.
It's going to be a business impact, and we'll just have to accept it as we need to and adjust as we need to as well.
We also continue to follow the impact of federal job cuts here in the inland Northwest. Coming in new at noon, Spokane Colleges is weighing in on the closure of the regional Head Start office that served 4 states, including both Washington and Idaho. Spokane Colleges runs the Head Start program in Spokane. The regional office, which has now been closed, supported local programs like the one in Spokane, including by helping with grants and funding.
And so what we know about this program is that it is incredibly impactful to the children and also the families and also, frankly, the workforce here. This is how we build people into our people who reinvest in our community, and the idea that that program is currently being consolidated and is potentially under scrutiny for long-term viability and worth is really concerning to us.
So Head Start provides early education to about 15,000 children all across Washington and 4,000 kids in Idaho. We'll have more on the program's future tonight, coming up on KREM 2 News at 4.